Gareth, good afternoon.
Thanks, Pete.
Nice to see you. Before we talk football, I think it would be remiss of me not to mention Emma Hayes, because she's had a challenging week, to say the least. What's your reaction to Emma's announcement?
Yeah, just found out yesterday, and obviously not a nice situation for her to be in. So we wish her all the very best in the operation and obviously the recovery period, because it's not a nice thing to go through. So it's going to take a little bit of time.
In terms of your season, I'm guessing you're desperate to kickstart it with a win.
Yeah, of course. I think we've got some good opportunities ahead of us now. We've got a nice period of games up until the next international break. At the moment, the players are playing more for their international teams than for us. It's just the way it's fallen. But yeah, I think it's a good period for us coming up. Nice to be home. Obviously, had 2 tough away games so far, so nice to get back in front of our own supporters at home and hoping for a good performance that leads to a result. But yeah, like you say, we need to get some wins on the board. Fairly confident we will do that with the team that we have.
How significant is it to be at home? What sort of boost does it give your players playing here?
Well, it's great. Each manager would probably say the same. Each player would say the same, that they really enjoy playing at home. Gives you that kind of psychological edge, familiarity. Majority of the time, more supporters than the away supporters. So yeah, I think it's something that we look forward to. We obviously missed that opportunity with the Arsenal game at the beginning of the season, but it seems a long time in coming. But just really looking forward, and I think there's, with the cup games as well, there's a decent number of games at home in this period. Away to Spurs, away to Reading, home to Blackburn, Leicester Sunday, and Liverpool as well. So good games for us.
We had the good fortune to be with some of your young supporters earlier in the week, with Steph and with Vicky. How important is it to have the players of that calibre and that experience now back fully fit into your squad? Because injury issues seems to have dogged you, certainly at the start of last season and again this season a little bit.
Yeah, those types of players like Vicky and Steph are kind of, they hold real value regardless of availability. Their availability's not been great over the last season, but to have those types around and the experience that they bring is great. And we have had a big transition with the squad, and there's been a lot of change, and we have obviously changed the average age quite a bit. But those types of players, I think, really help you with that management of that transition. I think really helps having that experience.
No, we're all good, Pete. We'll move on to Zoom now.
Okay.
So we'll kick off with Tom Gary from the Telegraph, please.
Oh, Emma, hi. So I think you said me. Sorry,
Yeah.
we're really struggling to hear Gareth. So I really apologise if I'm repeating a question, but I just wondered if you could tell us how the squad's looking in terms of fitness and whether you've got any injury worries off the back of the international break. And yeah, apologies if you've already said that.
No, it's fine. We haven't had that one yet. Pretty much. I think Ruby Mace is recovering, getting a little bit closer. Obviously, won't be available at the weekend, same as Alana Kennedy. But pretty decent numbers in the training practice today. I think you're always never too certain. Particularly, some players played lots of minutes on international duties. Some played not so much. Some didn't even go away. So I think it's everyone's come back in good shape and gives us, like I say, going into this period of games now, if we can keep players healthy, keep players on the pitch, I think it gives us good opportunity.
Thank you. And could I also ask one more question, please, about Esme, who was obviously was overjoyed getting her England debut. What sort of Esme have you got back now in terms of the boost to her confidence and everything else that would have brought?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably been a little bit overdue for Esme, and fortunately with her injury and a broken leg that kept her out for a long period, or all of last season, apart from the first couple of games. I think she's a really talented player. I've after working with Esme for a few weeks, I had real high hopes that she's going to be the future of Manchester City. I think a future England captain. She has the potential to do that. She understands how hard she has to work in order to get there. But really a nice reward for Esme after suffering a difficult period last season. But she's a really talented player, able to play in a number of positions, and like I say, I think that'll be hopefully the first of many caps for her.
Thank you, Gareth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Dan Pentland, please.
Hey Gareth, hope you're well.
Hi, thank you.
Just want to ask you about Leicester because it feels like they're really, really close to getting the result. They're just falling marginally short. So yeah, what's your thoughts on them? And is it kind of important to score quite early on to kind of nip that kind of encouragement for them in the bud, if you like?
Well, that's the ideal scenario that you want. You want to score early, but that you saw in the previous game that they had against Everton. Everton didn't score till like the 92nd, 93rd minute. Almost got themselves a result. So, yeah, they've made it difficult. They've had 2 home fixtures against Villa and Spurs as well. So, I think they're really difficult to play against. You could see they made it very difficult for Everton by coming out and engaging. To be honest, not blocking up so much as what we thought we might anticipate. So we need to be ready for a tough game. There's no doubt. But I think it's really focusing on what we do, making sure we get good continuity between and good symmetry between the players in certain positions on the pitch. And again, we always feel like we're able to score goals, and looking forward to the challenge on Sunday.
That Chelsea game feels like ages ago now, but when you were watching it, it kind of felt like you were brilliant in the first half, and I would say Chelsea were better than you in the second. There were a lot of positives to take. So is that something that you've done as a team to kind of look at the positives of that game and look to just add the extras in there to get you over the line against Leicester?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at both games, they were tight. If we'd have been battered in a game and come away with no points, they would probably be delving into it a little bit further. I think someone told me the stats in the first half. Chelsea have never conceded 12 shots on goal since 2013, something like that. At the end of the day, we didn't score. So there were positives around it for sure. I just think there's some little things that we need to iron out and need to get a little bit better at. And I think that's only natural when you've got a big intake of new players coming in that need a bit more familiarity, a bit more consistency with working with each other. And like I say, the international breaks don't help you so much because you tend to work with them for a little period and then they go away again. But they're good players. Like I said previously, we've got a real good squad at the moment. That needs a little bit of time. And I think given that bit of time and support, we'll see some really good things from this team.
Cheers, Gareth. Best luck for the weekend. Thanks.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Ali Rampling from 90 Min, please.
Hi Gareth,
Hi.
thanks for the time. I just wanted to ask about Yui Hasegawa. How close is she to making her City debut?
Yeah, very close. I mean, we're really pleased to have Yui. She's a player we've admired for a long time. I think she's able to play in a number of positions in the midfield areas. Very bright, very intelligent, very fit player. I think that's the one thing I've really noticed with her. She covers the ground really well. She's intelligent. So she's close. She's close, and she's looked good in the training sessions. We managed to, just because she had a slight injury, she wasn't able to go away with Japan and the national team. Managed to keep her here, worked hard with her, and got her into a good position to be available for Sunday.
That's great, thanks. For the weekend.
Thank you.